Hey everybody, it's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to you. Last night was a little something different though. Night one, WrestleMania. Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's me, Josiah, Cynical Italian. Back on that wrestling tip. It's wrestling weekend. It's a big one. It's WrestleMania weekend. Last night was night one, Saturday night of WrestleMania. This was the card. These were the matches. Before we get into these matches and what I think of each one of them, I want to kind of touch on what happened Friday night, and that was the Hall of Fame ceremony. The Hall of Fame was crazy uneventful. I've watched other Hall of Fames where the crowd gets into it. Even the wrestlers that are in the audience are into it. For some reason, this year's Hall of Fame felt really weird. Nobody was making any noise. Everyone was they all felt weird. The only bummer to the Hall of Fame, other than it just being, there's my word, the Hall of Fame was boring to watch. It really was. There was no interaction with the crowd or even the other wrestlers. There was just not. Every joke, every story, everything it just all fell flat. Like nobody really cared about any of it. And they were all forced to be there. I'm bummed that I'm not 100% here, but what I have read and what I've seen is that Tony Khan from AEW would not allow Sting to come do the induction of Lex Luger. I know that Lex Luger wanted DDP and he wanted Sting to be his two inductees. And it was just Diamond Dallas Page, who has helped him immensely get to where he is. But Sting was very detrimental in Luger's career. So, and Sting and him are best buddies. So it was kind of a bummer that Sting wasn't able to do that for him. But that's politics and just crybaby promoters not wanting to share. So anyways, the other thing was that Triple H's induction was way long. Sure, he told some fun stories. He told some good stuff. The only good thing that I took away from that is that it's obvious Vince is gone. Vince's influence and dictatorship is gone. And you can tell that by the fact that Paul spoke about Joni. He talked about China, and he talked about China in a good way, and he gave props to China. And if all of you who are from the old school, China was huge in the WWE, and they really erased her. Yeah, she has an induction with the DX a few years back. But even that induction, when they inducted DX, China was just kind of this little note that they put in the bottom corner. Otherwise, they've tried to erase her from WWE. And so for Paul to acknowledge not only that she was one of the greatest women wrestlers in the WWE, but she was a huge part to who he is now and the growth of DX and where the women's division is. All of those things would have been way different if not for Joni. I am, and always will be a big fan of China. The things that she did in the ring, the things that she did, I don't care about the stuff she did after the fact. She always will be top tier of the women for me. But otherwise, the Hall of Fame was just really boring this year, and it really kind of sucked. I want to watch the Hall of Fame to feel something about the people being inducted. I felt more from the documentary about Lex Luger that just came out than I did about Lex Luger being inducted. And that, I think, had a lot to do with the way the crowd reacted. The crowd just didn't care, and it sucked. So anyways, it went way too long. It was done way too late at night. Why on earth you did a 9 o'clock in Vegas award ceremony, meaning that it was going to be at 11 here in Texas, midnight in New York, doesn't make sense to me. Why? It's Vegas. You can do it. You can do it at 7 o'clock. You can do it at 8 o'clock. All sports still start at 7, 8 o'clock, 6, 7 in Vegas. So you could have done that. I don't know why they chose not to. Anyways, let's get to night 1 of WrestleMania. Now, we're going to have some haters. You guys hated on me when I talked about the Rumble, and that was because the key word for this year's Royal Rumble was boring. So yeah, how do I think about Saturday night? Night 1 of WrestleMania 41? For the most part, boring. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the first match. Okay, so the first match. First of all, the stage, the big main stage for WrestleMania was really cool. The fact that they had fans sitting up there, that there were 3 pits that were right there at the entrance. That was pretty cool. I would have liked to have been in one of those spots. I am here in Texas watching on the TV as opposed to being in Las Vegas. My ride or die concert and live wrestling event buddy Travis and I discussed going. We even looked into tickets and started mapping out our trips and mapping those things out. And then in the long run, we just decided that the $2,500 to $3,000 that it was going to cost just in tickets to get in could be better used someplace else. So we decided not to go. So instead, I sat here in the comfort of my home here in northern Texas, listened to the thunder and lightning. Last night we had a storm, and it's beautiful and sunny today, but watched the wrestling, tried to have a good time. So, match number 1 of the night. Old Mr. Yeet himself and Gunther. The match was okay. The fighting was okay. The wrestling was okay. His entrance was way too long. Coming out of the arena from a million miles away and taking his time coming down through the crowd. I'm glad that he never stopped and yeeted with the crowd as he was coming. That would have taken forever. But to start the night, his entrance took way too long. Gunther came out, looked cool. It was a good entrance. Gunther came out, get to fighting. I said a good match. It was physical. The match itself was entertaining. And then something happened at the end. And it was almost like the referee leaned in and said, okay, guys, you ran over. You got 10 seconds. You got to end this now. Because and my gripe, which is a gripe that I've seen all over the internet, is that he won the championship. That's awesome. I don't take anything away from him winning. I'm glad that he won it finally. The way that he won it, though, is a little sus. He had him in the sleeper hold, and instead of taking the time to go down and go to sleep and ending it and winning the belt as the result of a sleeper hold, Gunther, who has been this animal, and you can't beat him, you can't stop him, his whole career, taps. And tapped like instantly. Like as soon as it got put on him, the minute they hit the ground, he was tapping. That didn't make any sense to me. So the ending of that was kind of, what happened here? What happened? So anyways, not a bad match. I'm glad that he's the champion. The ending, the finish was botched. That's all I can say about that. So yeah. That is match 1. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we're going to kind of talk about matches that I don't care anything about. Start with the tag team. The tag team match, you got the New Day against War. Again, I ended up doing other things during the match. Like, I really didn't care. This whole New Day heel turn thing is kind of weird to me. Not that I'm against it. It's just kind of weird. I'm waiting for the Big E come in and crush them thing pop. I'm hoping for one day in the future. I'm hoping that Big E is going to be able to get back in the ring, and this is all part of a elongated storyline. But the match was boring. Got nothing to say about it. It was a boring match. I'm tired of watching these guys flip-flop around. I'm over it. So it was boring. I didn't like that one at all. Another quickie. We'll just kind of knock these out really fast. Rey Mysterio and El Grande. Rey Mysterio got hurt, and so you brought in Rey Fénix. This whole El Grande Chad Gable thing is played out. I don't like this. I mean, this is just I don't like this. This whole thing just irritates me. And so Rey Fénix, great, up and coming rising star. He's fun to watch. The match wasn't boring. It was just a match that I didn't care about. I don't care about the storyline. I don't care about any of those things. There's other matches that could have been put there and get rid of this whole Chad Gable thing altogether. That's my opinion. This Chad Gable thing is not working. So, we'll talk about the Jade Cargill Naomi. If you watch some of my other responses to wrestling, you know how I feel about Naomi. Has become boring. And I'm not using that word lightly when it comes to her. She was fun for a while, but for years, she is just a boring mid-carder. I don't think that this match belongs on WrestleMania. This was just filler. I didn't like it. You know how I feel about Jade Cargill. I think she's absolutely gorgeous. She's physically amazing. She can't wrestle. She can't. And last night, she was wrestling badly in an outfit that didn't fit. From the minute she walked in, it was nipples. She had patches on and she had a mesh over it, but it was her nipple patches the entire match. And so not only was she not wrestling well, she's trying to fix and adjust her top the whole time. And it's hilarious because her nipple is up here and she's grabbing her top here and moving it forward and still not covering anything. Now, I got nothing against watching wrestling with nipples I'll watch nipple wrestling all day. But when it becomes she's already not a good wrestler, and then on top of that, she's worried about her top the entire match. It sucked. But yeah, Jade was nipple free from the ring of the bell all the way to the end. So that was that. Yeah. These three matches could have easily not been. Doesn't need to be 2 days worth of WrestleMania if this is what we're getting. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so we're going to go here. We're going to talk about Fatu and fake Chuck Norris. Sorry, that's not his name. 90s douchebag in a Porsche. No, that's not his name either. What the hell is his? It's right on the tip of my. It's the dumbest name that anybody's ever gotten in the WWE. That's right, LA Knight. Can't stand this guy. I don't like. There's just the way he looks. I can't stand the way he looks. He's just one of those people you just want to punch him, and I just want to punch him. Fatu, I think that they're overrating Fatu. He's overrated. His gimmick is a little much, but at the same time, I know people that are just like this in real life, that are over the top. I'm a big badass, and they ain't shit in real life. But just big shit talkers, bunch of grunt, bunch of testosterone, bunch of swanging. But just calm down, man. The match itself was okay. I'm glad that Fatu won it. But it kind of was a match again that was an okay match. It wasn't great. It wasn't fabulous. It wasn't necessarily boring, but I don't like him so much that it was a struggle to watch that match. It was just hard because I just don't like him. And even him getting beat, I just don't want to see him, period. I think and the yeah and all, it's just so dumb. It's so F-boy-ish. I can't do it. So that's that. Cool. Good job, Fatu. The nonstop flips, the keep going, baby. He was gassed and was still doing some stuff. So good ending. He was gassed out by the end of it for sure. I wish he'd just go away. So, anyways, let's go to the next one. All right, we're going to talk about the WWE Women's Championship with who? Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton. Again, if you watch one of my last ones, I'm very clear and candid about the fact that Tiffany, I think they have pushed this character and they jammed her to the top way too fast, and she's going to be a flash in the pan. And by this time next year, she will be a mid-card to bottom-card wrestler. She doesn't have longevity. And they talk about, she's going to be the next. She's not going to be the next Charlotte Flair. She's not going to. This girl you will not see on your TV as much next year. She ain't going to make it. It's not going to work out. The match was, dare say, boring. I'm a little worried about Charlotte Flair. I've always been a big fan of Charlotte Flair, and she's always been skinny and had a very muscular but bony physique. But the last match that she was in and this match, her bottoms don't fit anymore. She has no ass, and so everything she moves, they're just loose and hanging around, and it's unflattering. It takes away from what I'm watching because all I can see is that she looks sickly. I know that she's gone through some major things in her life over the last year, injuries and personal and this and that. And I love Charlotte Flair. I'd take her out to dinner tonight if I could. Either she needs to put on some weight, or somebody is really messing up her wardrobe and they need to get it fixed. The match itself was okay. Tiffany Stratton can wrestle. It wasn't bad wrestling. It was just kind of, okay. And then it was kind of just over. And so, again, here we are. I feel a lot like Saturday night. We're back to what I was with the Rumble. It was all boring. And you can come at me in the comments all you want, but that's the reality. Go back and watch it again. Night one was freaking boring. Didn't need to watch that match. This match shouldn't have been there. This match, I don't care that it was there or wasn't there. This match, could have been gone. This one was okay. This one was okay. This had some stuff that these three were the only matches that really on the card. And so get rid of these, switch this one to Monday night, get rid of these three matches altogether, and go back to a one-night WrestleMania. I mean, I'm concerned with tonight's card. How many garbage matches are going to be tonight? So this was it for me. These all I could have done without watching any of these matches. So let's go to the last match. Let's talk about it. All right. So let me drink my Pepsi for the man, CM Punk. Main event. They all came in. Crowd was doing their thing for everybody. Everything was good. The match itself was good. I kept wondering, okay, when's Paul going to step in here? From the beginning, I wasn't sure about. So I did have predictions. We'll go back really fast. I predicted that Fatu was going to beat this guy originally. I had a prediction Uso was going to win. I actually had a prediction. My prediction was wrong here. I thought that they were going to give it to Charlotte. I figured Jade was going to win this one. I didn't care about this match. I didn't give two shits about that match. So, but on this one, I wasn't 100% sure. I figured it was either going to be him or him, to be perfectly honest with you. And I felt that way all the way to the end. The wrestling was good. The guys were in there. It was a good match. It was a good match. It was not boring. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. When the chair got handed to CM, I thought, okay, Paul Heyman is sticking with his guy, the guy that he started with. This is how it's going to be. Until Paul got in the ring. The minute, if Paul had just slid the chair into CM Punk and stayed outside, my brain was CM Punk is winning this. He's going to chair everybody. This is CM Punk. The minute that Paul Heyman got in the ring, I knew before he circled around him, before any of that, I knew Paul Heyman was about to double cross CM Punk. I knew it. Bing, done deal. Then it happened. Spoiler alert. Knew he was going to double cross. Knew he was going back to Roman. I then didn't catch it until he started pushing Roman towards taking out Seth. And then you start thinking about the garbage storyline that they've kind of stuffed on us the last 2 weeks about all of a sudden now he owes Seth a favor. He never owed Seth a favor. That was just a made-up story that they literally just crammed into the storyline in the last minute. And that's how it felt. So the minute that Paul started stopping him from hitting him and saying, hey, here's your shot. Go get him. Go get him. Go get him. I knew that it was a double cross. I knew it. And so I was not surprised the minute that, he jack-jawed him right in the nutty balls and shook that bad boy around where we were going with it. And it was, I mean, if I'd have paid more attention during the week, I didn't know, I'd have seen it coming. But I try not to, and I don't go online. I don't cheat. I don't do any of the storyline leaks. I don't do that stuff. I don't watch during the week, just so you know. I don't watch Monday nights very often. I don't watch Friday nights. I will catch up. If something major happened during the week, then I'll watch catch up clips to get myself caught back up on it. And so I know what's coming, but I just watch the pay-per-views. And this is the storylines that I want to see. Is I want to watch these. And so I used to be avid, man. I was if there was anything that was wrestling on TV, I was watching it. I don't do that anymore. I got too much other stuff going on in my life to worry about that. But this is entertainment for me. Once a month, I get to sit down, watch pay-per-views, and then come and talk to you guys about what I felt about them. So it was a good match. I'm not upset about the Seth heel turn with Heyman. I'm interested to see where that's going to go. Yeah, we'll see in the future. So, good match. Good match, even though I can't stand him. Good match. Entrance was way too long. My other part about this one was that he didn't have the overbearing excitement of winning his first championship was not there. At WrestleMania, it just didn't, for being a WrestleMania moment at the end, it just didn't feel, it felt like the Hall of Fame. Like it was just, okay, this is what we're doing. Again, those 4 matches could have been not on the card. So, anyways, 3 out of 7. That's not good. WWE. Paul, I know that Paul Levesque, Triple H, is making the WWE a much happier world for all of these people, and they're excited about going to work and doing this. The problem is I think that he's starting to let these guys have too much reign over their stories. And that was one of the things that Dick Vince did. Was Vince was very, this is the storyline. You're going to abide by my storyline, and that's that. And he had his writers and his people, and they sat and they wrote, and Vince was final say on everything. Paul is kind of saying, we've got writers and this is where we're going. And Paul steps in and says, well, let's do this. Let's do this. But Paul also says, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And it's having a negative effect. It's having a positive effect in the locker room. But it's having a negative effect with what we're getting as consumers. They need to find the happy medium in there somewhere, because it's falling apart a little bit. So I'm afraid that tonight's going to fall apart a lot. I think the whole John Cena thing is going to be, I think they're going to do it wrong. So we're going to see what happens tonight, but that's it. So again, happy Easter. Hope you're all having fun with your families and this and that. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go do some other things with my family this afternoon, and then come back and watch day 2 of WrestleMania 41 Sunday night. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But for now, this was my opinion on night 1 of WrestleMania. And unfortunately, overall, Saturday night was boring. But what can you do? Thanks for watching. Next video will be out tomorrow. See what I think about tonight. Have a good one, guys. See you later.